Yo, Wendell here with Average Dude's Slow Pitch. Today I'm excited to bring out the brand new short porch USSSA models. We've got the Milkshake here and then the Salty Dog here. And so this is going to be your 12-inch barrel, half-ounce end load, 13-inch barrel, half-ounce end load. Again, short porch has been primarily, or has been, kind of a senior company along with softballs at that point. So excited to see what these do for us. We're gonna throw them on the tester here in a moment, see kind of where they're starting at. We'll get some swings out here. We're gonna try to beat the wind. Obviously right now you can tell it's not too bad, or hopefully you can tell it's not too bad. But we do have a little bit, it's starting to kick up just a little bit. We got wind basically blowing straight in, so who really cares there? But later today at like noon, it's about 9 now, we're supposed to get 40 or 50 mile per hour gusts. So welcome to New Mexico during windy season. But we wanted to get these on video for you. I know these just dropped. They're sold out in a lot of places currently. I'm sure there's a second drop coming, so we want to make sure that the video was out and ready for you when that happens, so you can make a decision on if you want to spend your money on these or kind of stay with maybe what you know at that point. So we're out here at Apodaca. You'll see the dimensions here momentarily before we get some swings on it, but let's go ahead, throw these on the tester, come back, live swings, velo, final thoughts. All right, excited to see where these test out. Again, we've got the Short Porch Salty Dog. First USSSA bats from them. I've heard a ton of good things about Short Porch, but I'm only 33, so I haven't got a chance to really swing any senior bats. The only ones I've swung is 2 Onyx that we're actually having come out on video here in the near future. But doesn't seem like it makes sense for me to really swing senior bats on video because I won't be playing senior ball for another half decade. So if I can get this to stop moving on me, sorry, there we go. Very interested to see how these are going to hold. I know a lot of people are very excited about them. I'm excited to swing them, but there's 0 for us. And that's honestly what I love to see, starting at 275. Most of my kind of favorite bats or the best, kind of the most successful bats start around that 275 mark, maybe slightly higher, but unless the company's really good about getting their bats to hold, you definitely want to see kind of a 275 starting point. So, and then we've got the Milkshake, which if we wouldn't get this video taken down off YouTube, I'll be playing my Milkshake Brings All the Boys to the Yard right about now. But I promise you that that would not be allowed. There's 0 for us. And just a little under 275. So both of them are starting kind of where we want to see them. We'll go ahead again. Pro-M's out here. We might throw a couple 52s in the beginning. I'll let you know once we start the video. See how they perform. Come back with final compression, final thoughts. All right, USSSA short porch bats. Only because I typically prefer shorter barrel bats, I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna start with the 13-inch barrel. Again, 0.5 end load, the Milkshake. And then from there, swap over. We're all gonna take some swings here on the Milkshake, so our goal is to get 100 swings on each one basically, and then come back, get you that final kind of compression test. So, all right, 13-inch short porch. Let's see what these USSSA bats are all about. I never swung the senior ones for, well, somewhat obvious reasons, but I've heard great things about the senior bats, so. It's a good first 2 swings here with the Milkshake. For 3 swings, I'm willing to say that this performance will bring all the boys to the yard. So I'm excited to see how this thing opens up. And the half-ounce end load makes it easy to control, that's for sure. I gotta imagine this was right near, just under 275, if I'm not mistaken. I believe the Salty Dog was the one that 275. Might have that backwards, but as these come down, I can only imagine how much better it's gonna get. As long as these hold compression well, I've gotta imagine these are gonna compete with some of these top bats based on its performance right now out of the wrapper. That was the first one. That was towards the end. It actually is the ball mark up near the RC and Porch. You could tell feedback-wise where you caught it, but the ball still came off good. That one was off the hands too. Yeah, so I have to go back and look. I don't know if they're meant to be stiff handles or semi-stiff. I don't remember exactly what's on there. But it definitely, when you catch lower, you do get a little bit of sting, which I'm sure no one likes sting, but who cares? It's my own fault and whoever's fault for catching handle of the bat. Don't hit the handle. Paint it. Whew. All right, that was the first one I caught lower. So that one, slight sting on the hands. I caught it, I think, kind of near the eye and Milkshake, but it came off fine. I don't know where, if they're gonna stand there, he's gonna catch it, but I think it might have been in the gap enough. But either way, it's definitely got good feedback, letting you know where you're catching the ball and whatnot. So again, let's go ahead and put some launch angle on a couple, just see what kind of distance we're getting, and then we'll move on to the salty dog. All right, halfway into our trees, not too bad. I got out of here fast. Do not recommend swinging the balls in the game though. Seems like a good way to end to move over to the salty dog. So, as you kind of saw with everyone's swings there, the Milkshake's performing pretty darn well. We're at probably 75 swings between everybody, and so we'll go ahead, show all the salty dog footage here, swing that guy, and then hop over to the velo. All right, this is the 12-inch half-ounce salty dog. So let's see how this one performs. If it's anything like the 13, great, and if it's anything like it usually is for me with shorter barrel bats, this should be outstanding. There we go. Ah, the hand. Yeah, but just like the Milkshake, you catch it lower, these handles are going to give you some sting, so hit the barrel. That's not a miss. Yeah, these things feel great. Really the big test is how hot are they really coming off, velo-wise, performance, forgiveness, all that. And then what's our compression gonna do? All right, just like with the Milkshake, let's see what a little bit of launch angle does for us.
All right, I'm good. Go ahead, Wally.
Look at it on a line. I mean, that is a little launch angle, but I'm trying to get a little under one a little bit more for you guys here. That's better, halfway up the trees. Let's get one more good one and we'll hop over to velo for you guys. Well, there you have it. So, short porches are performing great, pretty much from swing number one. It's relatively forgiving, but you know where you caught it based on the feedback on your hands. You saw swings from everybody. We're gonna hop over. You'll see a couple velos from everyone, kind of at this point. Probably 10 to 12 total from each bat, and then we'll final compression, final thoughts. All right, as you can see, we've got the camera kind of a different angle here. So we've had some people request lately that we try to throw some backside in there for you guys as well, just so you can we can talk to how the different end loads bats kind of control. So if that's what people want to see, we're gonna go ahead and throw it in there for you. So we're gonna go ahead, handful of backside with each one. These were pretty darn easy to control so far with the half ounces on that kind of anything middle pool. So we'll work a little bit of backside here, and then from there we'll kind of jump over finish up some swings for you guys, and then hop over to velo. I mean, just as easy to control. I mean, the half-ounce end load, at first when I picked up this 26, the 26 either short porch, they felt a little heavy for a 26, but after swinging them, they feel pretty true, to be honest, like the way they're supposed to feel. And so far, easy to control. Just let that ball get on your hands, or not on your hands, but let the ball get to you, and then obviously drive where you need to go with the ball. Yeah. Just as much carry to right. Catch. Yeah, so still easy to control. We're gonna go ahead and jump straight into the Salty Dog backside, just because again, it takes a different camera setup for this angle so you can see over there, but same kind of couple swings here, and then we'll finish up what we need to get done before the velo final compression. Oh, I got out of here.
Dude, that was a laser.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so I'll say between the Milkshake and the Salty Dog, which is kind of as expected, Milkshake's more forgiving. That 13-inch barrel makes sense. But you do get kind of that 12-inch, slightly hotter sweet spot, it feels like, with the Salty Dog, which we'll see when we get to velo. But just a couple more here on the backside, and we'll roll over to velo and final thoughts. And there's if you actually elevate backside. Yeah, that sweet spot on this one's great. That one's got the forgiveness going for it. All right, that'll do. So, the half-ounce end load on both of them, easy to control, more forgiving on the Milkshake. Let's get a few more swings you'll see from everybody here. Hop into velo, compression, final thoughts. All right, let's figure out the velo here on these short porches. Like I said, they seem like they're performing pretty well. I think kind of live swings, field swings, whatever you want to call them. So let's see how that's matching up with the velo before we go to that final compression.
100 miles per hour. 96 miles per hour. 99 miles per hour. 99 miles per hour.
Yeah, so through the first, however many we've got so far, on 10 or so, this is reminding me a little bit of like the Eastons, where they perform, like the tantrums, for instance, they perform really well in the field swings, like you can see the performance on them, but then for whatever reason, the velo speeds just don't quite match up. So we'll get a handful more here with the Milkshake for swapping over, and maybe there's just a dead-on sweet spot, and maybe when we compression them, we'll find it really hasn't come down that much, and there's just a lot of wiggle room for this to open up.
97 miles per hour.
Yeah, it's missing just a little bit off the the jump or whatnot, but that might be the overall kind of between the barrel and handle both feel a little bit stiff, so that could definitely be it. Compression will tell us kind of what we need to know. We'll give it kind of two more good ones up the middle, see if we can't get up there a little bit more. But again, if it's performing on the field, what does it really matter? It doesn't. What I really care about when we do this is it pretty forgiving? So am I seeing those same speeds kind of up and down the barrel? Is kind of really the main goal when we're out here doing this.
102 miles per hour.
Okay, so so good one to end on there, but you can see that sweet spot's definitely where that kind of 102 comes from. I think we had a 101 earlier. So sweet spot's good. The rest of the barrel's still, 99, 98, all over the place right there. So we'll get the test on it here shortly. We're gonna throw it in the shade here for a while, let it rest since we've obviously been hitting it. It's still only about 63, 64 degrees out, but no cloud, sun just kind of beating down over here. So we'll let it sit before we test it and see where it's at. My guess is it probably needs to come down more in compression. Hopefully it's still around between 260 and 275, and that lets us know, break it in more, and it'll really start cooking. But sweet spot's great. You saw the field performance there. Let's hop over. We're gonna let everyone swing the Salty Dog, see what we see with the velo on this, and go from there.
101 miles per hour.
There's one.
101 miles per hour. 98 miles per hour.
Yeah, so there, I don't know if we talked about this before, but with the radar, you get the most accurate readings kind of straight up the field. Obviously, more off that 20 degrees, I think the line is, you're going to lose a little bit of speed, but that was 98. Line drive straight off the center of that tree out there. So again, field performance is far more important than the velo portion, but
102 miles per hour. 103 miles
that's a
per
perfect
hour.
pitch, by the way.
105 miles per hour.
Cool, there we go. So you saw speeds there. 12 inch for us is, well, for me, and you saw what everyone's speeds, but overall, performing better, higher averages. I'm gonna throw the averages of both of them up here, just here in a second before we go to the final thoughts and the final compression. But 12 inch barrels I mentioned, the sweet spot does feel better when you catch it. We saw with the speeds, it's coming off better currently, but they both feel good from the field swings portion. Had we never done the velo, I would have told you both of them feel good. They are both stiffer handle, stiffer barrel, at least as of now. But let's go ahead, throw these in the shade, let them rest for a while. We're gonna do some cleanup, all that kind of stuff, and then we'll come back, get that kind of final compression for that. But you will see the averages, like I said, for the velo with the top speed for each one on there. All right, we've had our short porches here sitting for a while. Barrels feel nice and cooled down. For some reason, there's some crazy number here. I mean, I'll go back home and test them later. But again, it's not super hot out here. Biggest problem is the sun, so we had it in the shade. It's all good to go. But anyways, this is our Milkshake first. Each bat has probably 75 swings on them, maybe 100, but no more than that. Let's dial this up to 0, let it sit. Yeah, and we're still sitting 260, 265. So I believe this was the one that started at 275. So we've come down like 10 PSI, maybe 15 at this point at 100 swings. For the Salty Dog, I think this one started slightly lower, if I'm not mistaken, than the Milkshake. Same amount of swings here. That wind is messing with us, I apologize, but again, we've just barely beat the wind for swing, so here we are. And the Salty Dog's at 250, so that kind of makes sense if you saw where the compression was at, but we'll talk about all that real quick here in the final thoughts and then get out of here before this wind kicks up. All right, we're field swing velo, final compression done here with the Short Porch Milkshake and Salty Dog. Again, their first USSSA 240 models. We're gonna go ahead, keep this kind of short and sweet. We've got the wind kicking up pretty good, which is what we were worried about. At least we got the swings done. But I will say, and there's kind of two parts to this one for me. So field performance wise, really from swing number one for both these starting at 275, they felt pretty good. They're definitely stiff-handled, stiff-barreled type of thing. So if you're not a fan of that, maybe not the bats for you. But for me, the Milkshake was relatively forgiving unless you caught it real low, and that's where the stiffness really came into play. But it still felt like it was coming off, visually looked like it was coming off pretty good. Lower on the barrel, you just got a little bit of sting. And that was kind of the same for the Salty Dog. With that being said though, the sweet spot, which kind of makes sense on the shorter barrels on the Salty Dog, definitely felt hotter throughout, and that showed when we got to the velo. For the Milkshake, you saw when you catch the no kidding sweet spot, which felt to me like it was basically right between the S and H of Milkshake, so real centered up. The ball came off great. The rest, it was still forgiving by all means. You just weren't seeing kind of those triple digit numbers all the way through, which then once we got to the compression, you saw this one sitting about 250, game ready, took about the 100 swings that we have out here. And this one with 100 swings is sitting at about just under 275. So with the longer barrel, just know this is gonna be more of your BP bat, or need BP, I should say. Get this broken in. I gotta imagine as you get this closer to 250, it's gonna get real forgiving, open up, and really start kind of sizzling at that point. And so I think we saw a little bit with the speeds here of what this is gonna be capable of when you get to that 250 mark. And for both of them, I think this is a bat that if you do buy it, while it's good out of the wrapper, I would put the swings on it. You want it near that 250 mark and then put it away in your bag and game it from there. Obviously, I don't know how long from the 250 mark it's gonna stay there or if it's gonna continue to tick down, but by about 50 swings, I would have been willing to kind of game this one. It was forgiving enough as long as you weren't catching low. Same with this one. Either one about 50 swings in opened up enough in my opinion, which obviously based on compression, this one didn't really jump anywhere or move that much, which is what's nice. This one, as we saw with the speed again, came down to where we wanted it. So that being said, they're both good bats. Keep an eye for them. I know Short Porch sells them, Headbanger sells them. I'm not sure who else has them. So if you need help picking these up, reach out. I'll find someone to put you in touch with, especially if we don't have stock on them, to get you kind of that best price, best shipping possible. Or if you do find them on one of the spots that we can kind of get you a discount and you don't want to reach out, just want to do it yourself, head down to the description of the video. The link tree will have discount codes, promo codes, links, all that kind of stuff for you to hopefully get you squared away with the best price possible. If you have any questions, just want some advice or personal opinions, whatever it might be, reach out as well. Always willing to kind of chat it up. Sometimes if we are delayed to respond, I do apologize. I do obviously have a full-time job as well, bunch of crazy kids, all that kind of stuff, but I will get back to you. And if it's been more than 24 hours, just shoot me another message. It's not gonna bother me. It means I probably just fell out of my kind of cross-check, or again, sometimes I just have too many penguins on the iceberg and some of those things fall off there. So feel free to reach out again. You're not gonna bother me, and I'll get you kind of squared away and we'll chat it up. So all in all though, hopefully you enjoyed this review of the first USSSA bats there from Short Porch. I enjoyed them, they were fun. I'm definitely gonna put more swings on both of them and see how they continue to perform and kind of what the compression does. How long will this one hold 250 and how long will it take to get this one to 250? And maybe possibly even bring back a part 2 if we get some time here in the near future. Season's getting a little busy though, so we'll see. But thanks for checking out the video. Thanks for supporting the channel. Have a great day.